it's me. Trying not to be too shrill today. I've got a runny eye. It's really cold here today. Just saying. So having had the warmest New Year on record, it was minus, I don't know, 5 or 6 here last night. So a little chilly. Oh, runny eye. And my craft room at the moment is about a balmy 14, that's 14 degrees centigrade. So that is my email telling me I'm live, so that's good. So I hope everyone is well. I have a heater on down by my shins, which may have to go off at some point because it's lovely at the moment, but at some point it's going to suddenly go, oh God, that's too hot. So we'll wait for that. So what have I been doing today? I've done, this morning was visit to the vets to check up on Pepper after he had his ear amputated. So he had his ear amputated just before Christmas. No, 5 weeks ago. Yes, 5 weeks ago. So it was quite a bit before Christmas. And he is doing really well. He didn't react to the medication he was on, which I hadn't really realised was a thing until this morning when the vet said, had he had any of these side effects, to which the answer was no. So that's good. So yes, he's doing really well. He now hates the sound of kitchen paper being torn off the roll, though, because I used to have to do that for his medication. So, yeah, I've got to that point. I need to turn the fan off. I may have to turn it back on again at some point, but yes, at the moment it is quite chilly. Quite hot, rather. So anyway, when you join, do let me know you're here. I can see that there are people here. I just can't see who there is here. You're being shy today, which is fine. I know it takes a little while for the comments to come through. So that was this morning. Traffic was good, which was just as well because he decided that hiding behind a cupboard was a really good idea rather than going into his box. So fortunately, losing 10 minutes trying to coax him out from behind the cupboard was made up by good traffic. And then I've done some work. I'm doing lots of planning. I will be designing my next class any day now. The shares have arrived, so I will be chopping those up and getting them out early next week. The only thing that is missing is the New Horizons paper, which is still not in Europe. So, yes, I'm very confused that I can't see any chat at all. Live chat. Because I was on Top Chat. There you all are. That's why. It's because I was on Top Chat. So who have we got? We've got Nora, we've got Lorna, we've got Jess, we've got Barbara, we've got Suzanne, we've got Sherry, we've got... You were the first, Barbara. Yay! First to do a thumbs up. And Steffi is here. So yes, I was on Top Chat, not Live Chat. Don't know what the difference is. Excuse me. And then this afternoon, I've literally just got back. Well, I've just got out of the shower, having got back from the gym, doing my 3-month assessment on my fitness routine, which, apart from one thing where there was a physics issue, has all improved, which is good. The physics issue was I have the record at the gym for holding the plank. I have a 4-minute 20-second record, certainly for those that are doing this particular training. So I was hoping to beat that today. However, my shoes slipped, so I tried bare feet. They slipped, so I'm going to have to wear my old trainers because they obviously are better. Because I got new trainers for my birthday and they skid. So yeah, we've got to try that again because it was horrible. My feet just kept going from underneath me, which is not good. So something quite different today, and there is a reason for, well, there's a number of reasons for doing something different. A, I've got lots of new stuff to play with, but B, I need to do a get well card for my neighbour who isn't unwell, but she has got COVID, and because she's in her 80s, that's not good. So I'm using Kite Delight, which may be a bit of a weird thing to use for a get well card. but I'm also using In Your Words. In Your Words is one of the Celebration items. No, it's not. It's the wrong one. It's the wrong set. Let's try that again. It was the last set. It's. I know there is a words set. I will find it. It's. No. I had a word set in mind. There we are. There we are. Wrong one. So I'm hoping Special Moments, which is a word set. Hello, Karen, you're live. Yay. There are words in here that will work. It's photopolymer, which is never a bad thing. Huge set. 21 stamps. I think it's a level 2. So I think it's a £90, €120 order. But it's got things like hang in there. She'll really appreciate something like that. And I think that will work nicely with the kites. Bearing in mind I was thinking of using a completely different stamp set. So yes, I think that will do. Yeah, I think hang in there will do perfectly well. So, Kite Delight and hello Jason and Special Moments. I will change obviously the title when we finish. I'm going for a really bright colour palette because I'm using the Sunshine and Rainbows paper, which is also Celebration level 1. I cannot tell you how much of this paper I've got. I love it. And picking out the colours from there. Hello, Wendy's Craft Den. I've got Magenta Madness, Bermuda Bay and Misty Moonlight blends, which means, of course, I will be using Memento ink. Now, I have got my Stamparatus out as well because I want to show you something. Oh, and I've got my new Cloud Punch because I suddenly made a discovery that's in the catalogue. I just missed it. Hey-ho. So I'm going to flip down and then we can get started. Can't wait for that paper to arrive. Which the rainbow paper, oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Right, so let's do picture in picture. I may have to turn my heater on again. I did warn you. So I've got my Stamparatus ready. It needs the matte because we are using... Hello, Pamela from Michigan. We're using photopolymer, therefore we need the foam matte. I've just got the ordinary matte on here. I have got the extra special, the rainbow. The rainbow is gorgeous. Most of my projects are over. Oh no, I can show you. You may have seen this because I showed this before, but this is the card that's going out to all my December shoppers, which uses the rainbow. And I've discovered something with the clouds, which I will come on to. But yes, it's lovely. Love that paper. I have got lots. Oh, and we've got a spammer. We've got a spammer. Let's call it Unwanted and Report. Two of your favourite Celebration products. Excellent. So, right. Okay, so I've got a piece of scrap white card, which I'm going to put into my Stamparatus. So there was, if you don't follow Stamping Up on Instagram, I highly recommend it. If you don't follow me on Instagram, why? I'm actually doing an Instagram refresh at the moment. So I would love people to find me on Instagram. Surprisingly, my handle is Liz_Yuille_Old Stables Crafts, but it's old underscore. And I'm going to change my handle because it's ridiculous. But if you search for Liz Yuille, you can't go much far wrong. But yes, I'm doing some. I've bought a course on Instagram because I want to do more stuff on it. So I'm going to pop. I'm going to come out a bit because I find that you get a better stamp the further out you are. So I'm going to, and I haven't prepped these stamps yet, just saying. I might use that one as well. And while we're at it, I'll use this one. I don't think I'll use the floral because that's upside down. I don't think I'll use the floral because my neighbour isn't really a floral person. So let's put the magnets on, shall we? Duh. Don't you love it when your brain doesn't happen? You don't do Instagram. I don't want another app to follow. No, that's fair enough. If you don't do Instagram, you can't follow me. It's fine. You know, I hate Facebook. I use it, but I don't like it. Right. So, let's get rid of the mouse. I'm going to close my box and pop it under there because it's actually just the right height for getting this flat. Now, those of you who have watched me for any length of time will know I'm about to bring out a white eraser or the palm of my hand just to rub over the surface of a new photopolymer stamp to get rid of any dressing, because I use a non-stick spray sort of thing so that the stamps come out of the moulds cleanly. And you can end up with some still on there. So we want to get that off because it means you don't get a clean stamp. I must have missed a lot of celebration rewards because I didn't see these. Can you send me a catalogue and celebration brochure, please? I can. I'm trying to think which are you Wendy Davis? Because that would be absolutely fine. I don't know which Wendy's Wendy's Craft Den is. I actually know a lot of Wendy's. But if you are Wendy Davis, Steed, anyway, that happy to. So I prepped my stamps. These are not celebration. Yes, right. No, that's absolutely fine, Wendy. I can sort that out for you. You don't have to have your adhesive eraser on the back of your memento. It's not a requirement, and you don't have to put your finger into the stamp you've just inked. But hey ho, this probably needs re-inking because I haven't re-inked it for a while. But oh, and it needs properly inking where it's got a thumbprint now. Well, fingerprint. There we go. So sleeve time. Just Davis now. Okay, that's fine. I will make sure I don't put anything else on. So I haven't stamped that particularly well, but also it's not very black. And the reason I'm saying that if you're on Instagram, and obviously if you're not, that's perfectly fine. If you're on Instagram, Stamping Up shared a tip, it's either yesterday or today, about using your Stamparatus and Memento ink, because Memento's actually not that black, which means, oh, I've just realised I'm hiding. I need to move my camera that way a bit. Hopefully that's better. So yes, it's not that black. This really isn't stamping nicely. I'll do this one again and the others will be fine. So what they have shared is that if you want a really black impression, doing it on your Stamparatus 2 or 3 times is good. Yes, that's the one it was, Jess. It was the one with the otters. It's particularly important if you're using photopolymer, because photopolymer doesn't stamp Memento that well anyway. Red rubber is better because photopolymer has a tendency to not bubble, that's the wrong word. Particularly a new solid one has a tendency... Hello, Deborah from a cold and snowy Michigan. Yeah, it just doesn't... Photopolymer is not the best surface for ink. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I could probably have done it another time. But so, yes, it's always worth following Stamping Up if you are on Instagram, because they do have tips every now and again. So, that is that. Oh, I meant to do one of the tails as well. That's fine. I will do one of the tails. Hey ho, I could have fitted the tail on. Never mind. Okay, so these are really school time. Watch the replay. Absolutely, replays are brilliant. I love it that we can do live and replay. So we had a team meeting yesterday, and we were sharing lots of new things that are coming out, and Jess has got excited by one of them, which is lovely. But yes, even more new stuff is coming. Just saying. Just saying. So let me, this is going to be easier to put magnets onto, preferably without the inevitable cat hair. That's better. I'm not going to go quite as mad with this one and stamping it 15 times. I know I didn't stamp it 15 times, and I also know I didn't prep this one, so I may have to stamp it a few times. Yeah, I will. But yes, they are doing, my team, whoa. So we had mini albums. People were sharing mini albums that they've made over Christmas. We've got new customers coming, people doing kind of coffee and card events, all sorts of stuff they're up to. It's fantastic. I love them. And we have 2 groups in Facebook. One for just, you know, hanging out and sharing interesting stuff and projects and things, and one for business tips. So yeah, it's good fun. And we've got a retreat coming up, which I forgot to remind them of. We do it virtually because we have team across in parts of Europe as well as across the UK. So we have... You are still overing the stamp. Overing the stamping. Don't know what you mean by overing the stamping. Sorry, Wendy. I get that's the feeling that's a bit like me saying it's not an alcohol lifter but an alcohol pusher backer, which one of my friends in North America was very amused by recently. So yes, Wendy, if you can translate that a bit, I would be covering. Oh, I'm sorry, I was covering the stamping. There's the stamping. I didn't mean to cover it. I'm sorry. So yes, it's just black stamping. It's not that exciting. My eye is really dribbling. It's courtesy of my father. I inherited runny eyes from him, and in cold weather my eyes are just awful. Right, so I'm going to go for a really bright palette. In that I'm using Magenta Madness, but I'm going to use Magenta Madness and Bermuda Bay on my big kite. So, and I'm going to colour them before I cut them out, just because then they're in one piece and it's easier for me to hold on to. Now this is horses for courses, as in, you know, do what you want. I prefer to use the bullet end of my blends. I know some people like the paintbrush end or the brush end, but I like the bullet end. I very rarely use the brush end. I don't often use blends in a large enough area to make the brush end kind of worthwhile. Now I am being quite careful to colour inside the lines. You really can't see me on that screen, can you? Bear with me one moment. I'm going to just adjust where my small webcam is. I'm going to go onto small webcam because that's the easiest way for me to see what it's like. That's probably better. Let's go up a little bit. I know this is going to make some people sick, and I'm sorry. But, you know, I do like people to be able to see what I'm saying. So I'm not going over the black, and I'm not going over the black for a reason, and the reason is, let me actually come onto YouTube again. The reason is that because it's not actually solid, the pink would show through. So I am trying as much as possible to colour inside the lines. I will be coming back and doing more, but in the meantime I'm actually going to go light Bermuda Bay, because I think the dark's going to disappear into the black too much. And I will be putting the tail onto this kite and then using the others as background. I haven't planned this at all, just saying. Be warned, this is another, pardon the pun, flying by the seat of my pants. Good, glad to hear that. Glad it's better. So while I'm doing this, I really ought to do my housekeeping, which is that this is a YouTube live. So if you are watching on Thursday, the 6th of January, Epiphany, sometime around 3:20 UK time, you are watching live, and therefore any comments you leave I can see and respond to. You will know that you're live because in the top left hand corner up there there is a red live button, for want of a better word, so you know I'm live. If you can't see the red live button in the top corner, it means you're probably watching on replay. So I would still love you to comment, and you can do that by leaving a comment below the description bar, but don't expect me to react as if it's live, because it's not. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the UK, working in the UK and across Europe, and this is my job, not just my hobby. So I actually earn money from selling Stampin' Up! Products and classes using Stampin' Up! Products. And that's all I need to say. But I do need to say it. I generally reply to comments about once a week. Sometimes twice, depends on how many comments there are. But that sort of amount, but I will always reply to a comment. And if you want to see more videos like this, do remember to subscribe, and you can do that by clicking about there on your screen, and that will be there whether you are watching live or on replay. So I've done that. That's going to be my main focus. I am going to do, I think I'm going to need another colour. I was trying to be good and not introduce too many colours, but I'm going to have to be bad. Which I'm going to bring in Granny Apple Green. I need 4 colours for what I want to do. So for this one, I'm going to alternate Magenta Madness and Misty Moonlight, and then Bermuda Bay and Granny Apple Green, because it's got, I don't want colour, the same colour next to itself. And then I will be doing lots of cutting out and making up. But this is a really cute little stamp set. It will be perfect for all sorts of age groups. Hello, Joanne from Canada. I'm assuming that those of you who are in places like Canada and North America, North United States, are having some fairly cold weather at the moment. I read somewhere, so one, and I think she's Canadian, a demonstrator that I know reasonably well, clearly not that well because I can't remember where she lives, was posted that it was minus 40 degrees where she is. And I think, am I right in saying that minus 40 is minus 40 whether it's Fahrenheit or centigrade? Something like that. Anyway, jolly cold, I think, is the answer. Right, I'm going to go dark Bermuda Bay for the other side because it's not as dark a background. She says I'm going to go dark and then picks up the light. Hello, Margaret. Margaret, who was my saviour yesterday, she contacted me because she was struggling to place an order, and it was basically because there was a problem with the ordering system. So because she told me, we could report it to our support team, who got it sorted out, which meant she was able to put her order in as she wanted, which was good. So this is going to be really exciting stuff for you to watch, and I apologise for that. Particularly if you're on replay, this is where you can fast forward. Hello, Leslie. We missed you last night. I know you were busy, but we did miss you. And I know you've been suffering with a lack of heating in your craft room. I have been trying to do my admin over in the main house, just taking my laptop across, to try and save heating this room, because it's quite expensive to heat. Oh, it's not too bad in Canada today, but expecting a snowstorm, I'm assuming later today. That will be nice. That'll be something to look forward to. Not. I'm going light, misty moonlight. So yes, I've been turning the heating off in here because it's electric underfloor heating, which is not the cheapest to do. So I have to say, when I got back from the gym at about 2:15, it was a balmy 6 degrees in here. And that's centigrade, for those of you who need to know centigrade versus Fahrenheit. Whichever. It was actually about as warm in here as it was outside. And I use warm in the looser sense of it was freezing. You're expecting snow in New Hampshire tomorrow as well. Okay. Don't know when we're expecting snow next. It is more seasonal now. I should have used light green, granny apple green, never mind. It was ridiculously warm over the new year. I think I'm going to do this in 2 tones of Bermuda Bay, if I can get my brain around that. So I'm going to do diagonals. So that's dark, which means that's light, which means that's dark, only because it's quicker than trying to work something else out. That's light, so this is dark. And as I say, we will then put everything together and see what we've got. That'll be interesting. So, flying by the seat of my pants, why would I ever... I know, because you've not got any heating in your craft room at the moment. As I say, I've got a blow heater, which is great. It gets the temperature up, but it then burns my legs. Because I do stand to craft. I know most of you know that, but I do stand to craft. The joys of sciatica. Although my sciatica is significantly better now that I go to the gym. Right, okay, so cut this lot out. I may not use all of the images. I've had at least 6 butterflies coming out in the flat. Really? Butterflies? I would suggest then that it's quite warm in your flat. Sorry, the idea of butterflies and therefore insects reminds me, and not any, I don't know that anyone that's on here was on the team call. Oh, Lorna was. Right, so on the team call, at the end of the team call yesterday, my husband, bless him, I was doing it in the kitchen because it was cold in here. He was getting supper ready for us. I'm just leaving a very, very, very small white edge, but it is tiny. And it's only because this is going to be a nightmare to cut otherwise. I may make it thicker for that. So I was doing a bit of a running commentary for the team about, what he was doing. And he started pulling really silly faces. We'd slightly overrun for a change. And I said, he's suddenly pulled a really odd face. And I don't know what the problem is, whether it's because we've overrun. No, it was, and I have posted this in the team room, and they all probably think I'm completely mad. He'd spotted a spider. Now, the spider was quite small, I have to say, but he has a real phobia of spiders. But bless him, he was trying to be calm while we were doing our team meeting, because otherwise I would have had to have been running around with glasses and bits of card to try and catch it and put it out. But yes, he kept pulling this face. So when we finished, I said, what's wrong? He said, there's a spider! So yes, happy day. You've just reported a troll. Well done. Oh, yes, I must report him as well. Oh, no, there it is. There you are. Bye-bye, troll. Report. Unwanted. Report. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. I'm actually, in a way, quite pleased that I'm getting trolls, because it means that I'm obviously getting a bit of traction. When we took the wardrobes from Phil's room, 12 butterflies. Were they butterflies and not moths? Because you normally get moths in houses rather than butterflies, but they may well have been butterflies. So these are the bits that are going to take the longest to cut out, because it's fiddly, as you can see. And in my head, I'm trying to think of what embellishments I might be able to use. Oh, I know what I could possibly use. It's not the most exciting embellishment, but it'll work. I think he was very restrained, just pulling a face. Yeah, he was very restrained, Steffi. He normally, so he has to wear glasses. He's got appalling eyesight, bless him. And he's now got, so he's had to wear, he's very short-sighted. So he's had to wear glasses for a long time, and he was fairly early contact lens wearer, because his glasses are bottle bottom city. But he's now got to the stage that we all get to, or most of us do, where his arms are too short and he can't read without glasses. So he now has glasses to wear with his contact lenses so that he can read, because he's got short arm syndrome, bless him. Anyway, so yes, he was very restrained. And he'd got his glasses on, which was why I was thinking about it. But yes, so normally he'll be lying in bed, obviously having taken his contact lenses out, and he'll suddenly go, oh! Okay, what's wrong? There's a spider! Now I have to wear glasses to see long distance as well, so I'll go, where? And he'll point roughly in, some area of the ceiling, and I'll get my glasses out and go, I can hardly see it with my glasses. How could you see it without yours? He can spot a spider at about 50 paces. So tortoiseshell, really? No, don't worry, tortoise is an awful word to spell. Tortoiseshells, wow. Hello, Claire. The spider must have looked huge. Well, I think it looks huge in his mind anyway, because it's a spider. Even something the size of a pinhead, as I say, he can spot it without his glasses on, in bed. It can be in the far corner of the bedroom, and we don't have a particularly large bedroom, but it can be in the far corner, and he'll spot it. And I won't. Right, so that's the long bit. I will apologise for that. I'm going to have to take a drink in a minute. I have a herbal tea, fruit tea, brewing. And I'm going to need it in a minute, because my voice is very dry at the moment. It's because we've got this dry weather. I haven't got COVID. I'm sticking blooming COVID tests up my nose like no tomorrow. Because if I'm seeing anyone, I do a lateral flow. Oh, and it's been really interesting, actually, since we were talking about whether you could get lateral flows free wherever you lived. It's been really interesting hearing what is and isn't available. I think I can now put my hand on my heart and say, if you need to have an official, as in you go to a test centre, I get the feeling that those are all free, or majority are free. But if you want an at-home kit, is where there's a charge. In a lot of other countries, I'm not going to say all anymore, because it's not all, but in the vast majority. So we are in the UK, we're really fortunate that we can get them for free, assuming you can actually get them. And having had a nightmare getting them before Christmas, of course they've all now arrived, because you get that email saying you should have received your lateral flow tests now. If you haven't, ring this number. So I was ringing this number every time I was getting an email, hey, they still haven't arrived. And then they all arrived at once, tied together with an elastic band. Some of them had taken over a week to get to me. And you can only order them if they're available. So heaven knows why they took so long to arrive. Apart from obviously people were off sick. So where have we got Spidey Sense, absolutely. Hello, Jan. Eric is the same with spiders. Yeah, I think you either love them or hate them, and I'm ambivalent. I mean, you know, I wouldn't necessarily want one walking across my pillow, but that's about as far as I'll go. Now, this is what I didn't know when I made my customer cards for December, and I had quite a few customers in December. So I hand cut all of my clouds. So I'm just going to show you this because it's so easy. So if you've got a card, if you're going to get a card from me for shopping with me in December, I hand cut them, just saying. Right, so let's see. I think I'm going to go for that one because that's quite jolly and it's got most of the colours that I've used in it. No, that's not. Ooh, that one. I could use... No, that's too many patterns. Could use that. No, too dark. Could use that. Let's see what else we've got. Dots, no. Squiggles, possibly. Stripes. Lots of rainbows. Ooh, that's quite nice. As I say, you can tell I hadn't actually planned it. Ooh, that might work as well. So I'm going to go between this one and this one. Already got it out. I may or may not use a cloud, but I wanted to show you the cloud punch. So these are our... I think I know which one I'm going to use already. Yes, I was going to give you the choice. Not. It's going on that lot. Jess is still here. I thought you'd... That was quick. Good grief. Right, so that's that. I have to hand a Magenta Madness card base. So I'm going to use that. I have white. If I need it. I'll need white for the inside. And I might actually be rash and do the inside. And let me grab my bright selection because one of the colours in here is Mango Melody and I quite fancy going really stupidly bright. So that's that. And no, I'm not going to calm it down. I was thinking pool party as well, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go really bright. Your Stampin' Up order was in the bin. You're kidding. No, that's not allowed. Right. So, team, sorry. I know this isn't a team thing, but I'm going to say team. I did the Big Brown Box draw this morning and it's on the Facebook group. It's actually gone to someone who isn't on Facebook, but hey. So, Big Brown Box is... every month I do a draw. So, for every $50 US worth of this thing, that a team member in my first level orders, they get an entry into the Big Brown Box draw, and at the end of the month I do a draw and they win a prize, which is something around $20 US worth of product, which is a random thing. I mean, I choose what it is. They don't get to choose because that would take forever to sort out in my little world. Right, so I'm cutting this at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. This is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. Metric and North American measurements will be on my website when I post this. Oh, it's probably going to be next week. I've got 2 posts going live on tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Because I happen to be doing 2 blog hops, and they happen to both be going live tomorrow. Fortunately, 12 hours apart. 3 box this week, I think. 3 boxes. Good heavens. Yeah. So that's what we're going for, and I know it's bright. And you know what? I don't care. Because we're then going to put something quite dark on top. And this is supposed to be for someone who has not been well. So we want bright. So I'm going to have my tail, but I'm also going to have some other kites, I think. No, I'm not. I'm taking those away. Sorry, you watched me do them and now I'm going to take them away. So actually I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to have my cloud coming off that way, so I'm going to be cutting it. Unless I've got an edge one that will be even better. Oh, I could do that. I could do that edge one. Then I can use that whole edge on something else. So, using my lovely new punch, couldn't make it up, could you? That I now know fits round my cloud paper. Let's get that nicely lined up. I can punch it out. Oh. You don't think you're well? I think you're very well, Jess. I think you're very well. You're just having a bit of a, you know, it's a new catalogue. Why wouldn't you want everything at a discount? I mean, come on. Let's get real here. Right, so I'm going to stick cat hair. I wore this jumper to the vets this morning. I'm covered in cat hair because we had to pin him down to get his stitches out. They were supposed to be dissolvable stitches. And when the vet said they were dissolvable, I did laugh because I've had surgery with dissolvable stitches and I've always had to have them removed. So, yeah. They hadn't dissolved at all. They'd been in for 5 weeks and they hadn't dissolved. So there was quite a lot of having to pin the cat to the vet's table. I mean, you know, nicely. He was purring the whole way through. But it does mean that my jumper is rather covered in black fur. But, you know, he's my little baby. He's my boy. He was crying all the way there and all the way back. Right. So I'm going to build everything and then put it on there just in case it goes horribly wrong. I'm going to pop this up. We do need to do a sentiment, which I am going to do on the outside because for those of you who joined late, this is actually a card to pop into my neighbour who has got COVID, not badly, but I only heard yesterday that she got COVID. So I want to, I don't know why I'm using quite so many dimensionals, but I am. But I want to drop a card into her just to wish her well and to let her know that if she needs anything, we will be there to help, because that's what you do. So, to go that way, I'm just getting some half minis for my tail. I mean, not my tail, obviously, not my tail. My tail doesn't need minis, but my tail does. So this is going to be fairly boring as well. Oh, I know what I forgot to mention last night as well. This team swap. Haven't had much traction on the team swap. So I did give a deadline. I'm going to extend the deadline because at the moment I think there are 4 of us, which out of a team of, in all levels, nearly 30 is not great. So I need one other half, which is fine because I've got other halves. There we are. Right, okay, so I'm going to stick this on first. Slowly. Not quite sure what the slowly is, but hey-ho. Right, so while I think about it and while I remember, because I, as you know, I'm incredibly forgetful, have that there and that. Oh, I might bring that over there actually because I'm going to have that flat. Change of plan. Yes, do remember to like and share. And if you don't already subscribe, that would be lovely if you would. It does actually make a difference. It makes the algorithm feel nice. I haven't got any new stuff yet. No, you're going to get new stuff, Leslie. So one of the things we were saying last night is that sometimes you can get overwhelmed because there's so much new stuff, particularly if you haven't used what you've got. It tends to make you wonder whether you should actually be justifying getting something new. Changing the design again. And the answer, I think, is that actually getting something, maybe some paper that's new, can refresh older items, because all craft companies are the same. They will introduce things that are trending in other areas, so colours and things that are trending elsewhere, and that can make a huge difference. So you can use older product but make it feel more up to date by introducing a little of something new without necessarily going completely mad with your budget. And I know we do all have a budget. Would that we didn't, but we do. Well, we all have a, even if we didn't have a budget, we'd have a budget, because you still have a budget. It just may be that you can afford everything. Right, so that's going there. Then we need a sentiment. I might actually do my sentiment in a colour. I might go Misty Moonlight, although we don't have Misty Moonlight on it. I might go Bermuda Bay. So I was going to do Hang in There, because she will appreciate that. If I can find it. And this is a celebration item, level 2. Shared and liked. Thank you, Wendy. Runny nose again. Right, I need a block. Put it on crooked. There's more chance of it actually being stamped straight. So I'm going to wipe my nose rather than just sniff. And I am going to go Bermuda Bay. So I've got a scrap of card that I'm hoping... Yes. Ooh, oh, hang on. No, hang on. Oh, no, that will work. Right, Bermuda Bay. I'm so pleased I moved. Talking about small spiders. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Can you see? Small spider. It's going to terrify those of you who don't like spiders. Let me just pop that away. But yes, spider. Keep changing what you want. Yeah, that is always a problem. Now, what I do, and I've done it for some years now, is as soon as the catalogue arrives, and obviously as a demonstrator it arrives earlier, and I go through the catalogue and I go through and go, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And there'll be some things that are neither, but there will be some things that I go, seriously, you think I'm going to make anything with that? And I do know. As a general rule, I will never change a no to a yes, as a general rule. Then I'll see someone make a really cute project and I will change my mind. But it still may not get on the list. But so I'll go through once and then I'll put the catalogue to one side for a while, and then I'll go through it again and see if I've changed my mind. And quite often I will have done. So yes, it does help whittle things down. I didn't mean to try and scare you. I just suddenly realised that I would be scaring you. But yes, it was very small. I mean, that's the sort of thing that Martin will spot from bed. You know, stupid. And it'll be on the ceiling, but it was very small. Right, so that's going to go on there. And I think to balance off the cloud, I'm going to have that there. Obviously, I'm going to cut it. But I might actually bring it off. Oh, I wish I hadn't torn the end off now, because I quite like the idea of it going off, but never mind. So I'm going to have it there. And I'm going to use the same punch I used earlier in the week. I'm going to use my tailored tagged punch, or whatever it's called. This one, anyway. I know you're just kidding. And I was just kidding. I was being a little mean, but it was so small I had to do a, is it a floater? Because I do have floaters. Is it a floater, or is there actually a tiny spider crawling across my grid paper? And the answer was, a tiny spider was crawling across my grid paper. That's not quite central. That's better. Yep, that'll do nicely. Okay, let's pop those in the bin. And dimensionals, which I had just now, so they should be to hand. I know I've got to stick everything down because it's not yet, it's loose. And I want to stamp on the inside of the card. This is one of those packs of dimensionals where they've really done a good job of making sure that the dimensionals come off to the extent that they come off with the backing paper. And I am going to use a third one because otherwise that's going to dip in the middle. I've just realised I haven't got a light. That light's not on. That'll be why it's so dark. I was trying to work out why it was dark over to the right side of my desk. That'll be why. It's makes such a difference when you put your lights on. Right, okay, so I'm going to stick my... You've got dead ones because it's too cold for them. Well, yeah, I'm surprised. But as I say, it was tiny. My car is generally my collection of spiders. Oxfordshire apparently has more spiders than anywhere else in the country. Just saying. Just as well we didn't know that when we moved here. But yes, that's what I am told. So, yeah. Doesn't it make a difference when you turn all your lights on? Sad. Right, so hang in there. I'm going to have it hanging off the edge. There. And then I'm going to grab a white... Oh, I've already grabbed one. Never mind, I've got two now. A white thing. And I might just use... Oh, no, I might use a sun. I'm going to use the sun and a cloud. Which does mean more ink colours is the only thing. And I do quite like to cut the ink. No. I'm going to do Memento and accept that these are going to be lighter because I want them to not be too bold anyway. Does mean that I will probably introduce another colour of blends. But, you know. Right, so let's take that off. Let's turn that the right way up. And shall I, shan't I? No, I'm going to go for ink. I've changed my mind. I'm going to go for ink. So I'm going to go, to keep in tone with the paper, I'm going to go Pool Party. And so Saffron, because that's the yellow. It's one of the yellows anyway. Used to get quite a lot of big ones in your craft room. Makes mental note not to visit Oxford again. Yes. It's all that I've been told. And Leslie's not moving either. Okay. So I think, yes, I had to check. I just had to check the stamp case to make sure that I was stamping this the right way up. Just saying. So we're going to have a cloud coming off the side. Just protect my grid paper. So I'll have a little cloud there. And now if I wanted to be really fancy, and I think I do, I'm just going to stamp that on my post-it note and very quickly cut a mask. I quite like using the right word. And I'm cutting on the line, so in the middle of the line, so that when I stamp the sun, I shouldn't get a halo. She says, hopefully. Right, I don't need all of that, so let's do that. And then just do this little bit here. So I need to come in from here. Because I want my sun peeking out from behind the cloud to suggest that things are improving. Because if you're not feeling well, you want the sun to come out from behind the cloud. So, mat in place, mask, not mat, mask in place. Sun, they have the dots to the side, so let's follow what they've got. and have the sun peeking out from behind. Where do you get your masks from? They're just post-it notes. Just, yeah. That's just a post-it note. Like that. So, yes, I mean, you can get post-it note paper. I do have a roll of post-it note paper that's sticky all the way. I mean, it's not post-it note, it's just sticky. It's repositionable paper. Which I got on Amazon, and I can't find it. It's not available. This particular one's not available, but there are others. Otherwise, I'd share the link. But yeah, it's just post-it note paper. But that was just a used post-it note. So long as it's got a bit of stick, basically, is what you need. But always, always, always cut inside the outside edge, if that makes sense. And I'll try and I'll stick this down, and then I'll show you what I mean. I will rescue the masks from out of the bin that I've just put it in and show you what I mean. So, because we've got absolutely no halo, but it's not really on the pool party. But I'm going to do a deliberate mistake in a minute. And it, of course, won't work. It'll go right, but we'll show you anyway. Because I'm determined it's going to be going wrong. Where was the... I had a scrap of white. I did, because I was using it. There it is, I buried it. There's a surprise, I buried it. So there's my scrap of white. Right, so I'm going to stamp these again and put the mask in the wrong place so that you can see what I mean by cut inside. So, that's a funny bit. Right, so there's our cloud. There's our cloud. And if I dig in the bin, I can get my mask out, and I'm going to stick it so that it's right on the edge of where I've stamped. Right on the very edge. So I'm covering up my stamping. Yep. So let me show you that. I mean, it's not terribly clear because obviously there is pool party on the post-it note, but I've deliberately gone right to the edge. So if I then get my So Saffron again, if I get my So Saffron again and stamp over my thingy, this is where it won't have worked. It will have gone exactly as it should do rather than as I'm expecting it to. Yeah, typical. Often, I have got a bit of bunge under here, but often you'll get a halo. So there'll be a gap between the two colours, but of course it hasn't this time because I was trying to show you it happening. No, I haven't even got anything else I could do. Oh, I know what I could do. I know what I could do. Right, so I'm going to punch this. I mean, this will be very dramatic, but I'm going to punch out a cloud, and then I'm just going to draw round it very quickly with a pencil that I can't find. Oh dear Lord, there we are. Pencil. So I'm just going to do a little bit. So there's my cloud. Yep, cloud. So if I then get my... I'm going to deliberately use a darkish colour and deliberately, hopefully not do that. Right, so there's my cloud. So if I then take my cloud and put some of that on and take off some of the sticks so it will come off again, and pop that right to the edge. This is to, you know, really emphasize the point. Then re-ink my thingy. And stamp it. Yes, finally. Although I didn't stamp it very well, but there is a very small gap. So obviously I've exaggerated by using card, but you want to cut inside the line is basically what I'm saying, because otherwise you may get a halo, which is fine if you've then got Stampin' Right markers because you can use those to colour in the gap, but not so good if you haven't. So that's it for today. One whole card. Whoa. So that's what my neighbour will be getting later today, assuming it's stopped raining, or very early tomorrow if it hasn't. So with a bit of cloud in there, and it's got space for me to write a little message to let her know that we're here if she needs anything, because obviously groceries and things will be difficult. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Do remember to give it a thumbs up, and to subscribe and to share and all those good things. I will share the link to the blog post as soon as I know what it is. See you on Tuesday. Yes, I will be live at 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning UK time. Glad you like it. As I say, lots of thumbs up would be lovely. I'm going to flip the camera up, and I've just realised that I haven't done all of the editing that I meant to do to the description before the thing went live. But it was a bit of a rush today. So, gosh, it looks really dark. That's because it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, so thank you very much indeed for joining me. Thank you, Steffi. I hope it will brighten her day. It's just cute. So yes, have a fantastic weekend. Have a good day today. I hope those of you that have snow forecast don't get too much. And it's, pretty without being difficult. And yes, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock Tuesday morning next week for more fun and games. If anyone in the UK needs a catalogue, there is a catalogue request form over on my website, but Wendy, I will get one in the post to you. I'm doing post tomorrow anyway, so I'll get one in the post to you. So yes, do by all means order a catalogue through. If you're intending to order from me, is basically what I'm saying, because they do actually cost money, which is fine if you're intending to order from me. Okay, I shall leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks a lot for joining me. Bye bye.